So everyone who's clicked on this video, thank you very, very much. Welcome back to the Doxcast channel. It doesn't matter if you're a regular listener like some of you are. I appreciate all of you guys. I also appreciate you guys and girls who just click in every now and then to check up and see how things are going. Or if it's your first time stumbling across this video and you just happen to click on it out of curiosity, welcome to the Doxcast channel. Usually every single week I have a brand new guest. Doesn't matter if it's a friend, a family member, someone that I see online, someone I just met on the street that day. I love meeting new people, getting them to come into my home, sit down in my guest seat over there. I usually take my host seat and I get to learn and bounce ideas off people. But every now and then I do like to do a solo episode. This is actually my fourth solo episode now. Usually I do them for a bit of a milestone kind of episodes. I did my first one at 100 episodes. I did my second one when I was 1,000 days sober. I did my third one when I was just sold my house. And now I'm up to my fourth ever solo episode. I don't actually have a title for this episode yet. It'll be cool to try and work out what that title is going to be through this episode. And yeah, this just happens to be the opportunity that I've been given today. Because yes, it's amazing being able to get people to come into my home and learn off, bounce ideas off. And as I said, kind of build a connection with, a friendship. But to have a personal episode by myself, what this episode is, it's a diary entry for me for later on. So I can go back at a time and see what it was like to be at this current age, in this current environment, with this current mindset, because we grow as we get older, obviously, but we are pretty much unaware of how massive our mindset shifts and changes. But I'm very fortunate in the fact that I record 2-3 hours of conversation once a week, and I do notice a big difference. So I can always go back in time to see what it was like at 1,000 days sober, when I sold my first home, or when I was only up to 100 episodes. And now I've got the privilege to be able to look back and see what life was like for episode 171, the last few stages of 2025. And yeah, I'm pretty much going to spend today's episode as a diary entry, reflecting on the year I've had, planning some things for the year to come, because I'm very, very excited for the following year, but it has been a fucking fantastic year this year as well. So I thought I'd spend this time, as I said, reflecting, making this episode for me for later. And if you happen to be listening and watching this episode, I thank you guys. I hope it's a little bit entertaining for the most part. I hope that maybe something can be relatable, or maybe there's something that you guys needed to hear. And if not, I do appreciate you guys for just coming and showing the support. But what this episode is, a solo episode, is my personal diary entry. And I do like this opportunity to be able to take this time to reflect, you know, because fuck, it's go, 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 eh? It has been go, go, go for a very long time. And my diary entries are getting less and less. I'll tell you what, I do like the idea of writing shit down, and I try and do it lately, at least every few weeks. But fuck, I swear to God, every time I open my diary now, I check the last date, it's been at least the month before. And if not, it's the 2 month before, you know? So I might just spend a bit of time reflecting through this episode. But it has been a fucking great year, as I said. It's been the best year of my life, and I know I say that every single year, but this year really has fucking smoked every other year out of the water. And there's a lot of things to thank for that, you know? I've been growing my relationship with my faith, trying to understand the relationship with God as I've gone through this year, and it's becoming stronger and stronger. So all glory to God for the year. It has been nothing but opportunity after opportunity. And I was actually going through my Instagram earlier today to try and reflect on the year and see kind of the stuff that I've been doing. And I'll talk about a bunch of them through this episode as well, because fuck, it's been good fun. And yeah, I'll get to a couple points about that shortly on. But to start off the year, it was obviously 2024. Before, in December, this time last year, I knew this was going to be a fucking mad year to come. And I knew it was, but I also knew that it wouldn't just happen automatically. Things don't just fall from the sky. You kind of have to put yourself in the environment that you want to be in. And I knew that if I waited until this year to start everything that I wanted to start, I would be picking up pieces along the way. I'd be like, oh, okay, so now I've got to try and fit this into my system and my schedule. How's that going to work? And I'd make mistakes, and I'd get unmotivated, and I'd feel bad about, you know, slacking off on some of the things that I said I was going to do, like the New Year's resolutions and all that shit, which I still think are hectic. I'm a massive fan of all that jazz, but I knew I'd have to start it earlier on. So that's exactly what I did. And I went fucking full steam ahead. December, I was charging, I was sprinting, I was training as hard as I could, eating as clean as possible. I was having as much fun, spending as much time with the people that I cared about. And by the time the fucking New Year's hit, I'm fucking good to go, you know? But I told myself, I don't just want to sprint into 2025 metaphorically. Let's make a physical, legitimate sprint into 2025 as well. And I did that as well. December 31st, 10 p.m., I decided I'm going to go for a run. And, at that point, I was probably 2 years and 2 months, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, on my sober journey of saying no to drinking and drugging, which I'm still doing today. I'm 3 years, almost 2 months, I guess, at this point. And yeah, I told myself, like, all right, let's fucking find something normal to do, Like, I've been so stuck in a habit, and even though I was 2 years sober at this point, I've still had, if I started fucking celebrating New Year's at 13 years old, realistically, I've already had, like, over 10 New Years where I'm going out, 10, 15 years of New Year's going out, writing myself off, getting obliterated, having fun, but also making a fool of myself, and then fucking struggling to pick up the pieces again January the 1st, so I was like, right, I'll go for a run. That'll be productive. I'll feel good about it. I can do my whole mental example of sprinting into 2025 and make it pen and paper legitimate, what I'm doing as well. And I drove all the way to Sydney Olympic Park. And where I was in my life at that point is I was living in my house that I saved up for, got the mortgage for. I was over in Western Sydney, over in Windsor. And I was just stuck in my everyday routine of what it was, paying a fucking shitload of money every week to be living in this place in the middle of nowhere, because honestly, it's all I could really afford at the time, I couldn't afford to live in anywhere else, so I was just going by the rules and the metrics in which I thought I was meant to be doing, I was a single lad, and I was stuck in this responsibility scheme but I wasn't really happy with it either, I wasn't really happy with it, and I knew I wanted some changes, so I drove all the way out to Sydney Olympic Park, to Bicentennial Park. I love Bicentennial Park. It's mad, the water there, it's designed for running and bikes, and this place has been thought out really well. And I started my run there, and I just thought, okay, what do I really want as this year comes? What lifestyle do I want to be living? What do I want changes to mean and to be? And obviously I want to double down on a lot of things. Like, I remember specifically thinking, I like being into fitness. I want more fitness. I like trying to look after my health. I want more healthy foods. I remember thinking to myself, like, I like clothes and fashion. I want more of those things. I like spending time with my friends and family. I want more of those things. And I remember specifically to a point thinking, I love experiences. I want more experiences for next year. And as I'm running around thinking about all these things, we're getting closer and closer to midnight, closer to the fireworks. I left Bicentennial Park, running around Sydney Olympic Park, and for me, that was like an excursion. I've got to be honest. I've always lived in Western Sydney. I've moved 20 times, realistically, and coming out to an area like this, like, Sydney-ish, it's always exciting, I've got new buildings. I love the way the architecture is thought out, and I love the way that the parks and playgrounds and even the bushes, it seems like everything's very intentional when you come to these suburbs like Sydney Olympic Park. And as I run around, I thought, fuck, this might be the fucking spot, Like, if I want more experiences and I want more adventures and I want to enjoy myself more, why not just come to the heart of it? You've got Akka Stadium, you've got Kudos Bank Arena, you've got NG Stadium, you've got all these things where weekly you've got concerts and festivals and shows and seminars and all this shit that I was doing a lot of in 2024 and I was always traveling to. So I thought, fuck, maybe I should fucking be living here. And I remember looking up at a few buildings, and these buildings got me thinking into a different mindset of what would it be like living in an apartment? What would it be like letting go of my garage and my workshop area and my backyard and front yard and all these things that I'd become so accustomed to. I thought, what if I just didn't have it? And it didn't scare me, I became very content with the idea of fucking getting rid of everything and shrinking down to a very small place. And I told myself on that run, this is where I want to be living. And then I fucking forgot about it. I completely forgot about that entire dream, realistically, I had shit to do. I had shit to work on. I had fucking training to do. I had money to make. I had friends to have fun with, And that's what I started doing as soon as 2025 started. I really started doubling down on the things that I enjoy and not wasting any time. That's one thing I fucking wanted to make sure I did not waste time, because I have this big fear of FOMO. I have a massive fear of FOMO. I don't like the idea of, fuck, I wish I did that, The idea of like, what if, or what could have been, what could have been. 4 words. the fucking most scary words in the fucking world when I hear them. What could have been? I think let's make sure that doesn't happen. So yeah, I thought I'd go through some of the experiences that I got to experience this year through having this intention to not waste any time and try and take the opportunities that come my way. And then I'll circle back into a moment about that run and why that run has been a good reflection point for me. So as soon as the year starts, obviously summer is nice and hot. We've all been waiting for it for a long time. We're about to hit summer again now. It's December. Summer's technically started and it is getting hotter, but it's about to get fucking hectic again, beach weather. And I did exactly what I did last year. I want to do again. I found as many cliffs to jump off, bridges to jump off, rope swings, anything you can to get inside of the ocean, and anything I can do to jump into it. It's actually one of my favorite feelings in the world. It doesn't matter if it's only a meter high, if it's 15 meters high. I don't care. If it's a chance that it's safe, fucking I'm going to do it, And yeah, I did a lot of that. I found some abandoned bridges that had rope swings and shit, and I found some even rope swings or even jetties, like anything that I could fucking jump off when it was a hot day. Like that's what I did. And that's exactly what I'm going to do again this year. It really makes you feel like you're having a summer, This idea of summer, I feel like I kind of lost it for a very long time. And in movies and shit, growing up, summer was this big spring break thing. And then turning 17, 18, finally going out. I remember going to Marco Polo at Ivy and all these things on Sundays. And that made me feel like it's summer. But I got a bit older and summer stopped feeling like, the season of letting loose and feeling alive and feeling refreshed. And that's it. That's how I find my calling back to that refreshing feeling again, jumping off shit into the water. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing again. Started off the year with a bunch of that. And then I just started saying yes to a bunch of opportunities. This podcast has brought me a lot of amazing people into my life, and I've been able to learn off fucking dozens and dozens and dozens. If I'm getting close to being able to say hundreds of people, And yeah, one of the first things I did was I got invited down to the Yard gym at St. Mary's when that gym first opened, which is if anyone's seen the Yard, it's like an F45 gym, but it's so much better. And there's a bunch of people in there of all different shapes, sizes, genders, races. It's just a complete community of what Australia really represents. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I've been fucking training hard at the gym. I'm going for runs. Like, I hit sauna pretty intensely. Like, I've done boxing for fucking 8 years in the past. Like, I'm fit. Like, I'm going to kill this class. It was the most fucking humbling experience in my life. Like, there were people in their 30s and 40s and maybe even early 50s that were like, not fit by physical appearance wise, but they would just fucking hit these Olympic bikes and they would pull on these ski row machines and, oh man, they're going at 110 miles per hour. And I'm thinking, yeah, hectic. That's what I'm going to do as well. And bruh, let me tell you, I went straight onto King Street at St. Mary's and I spewed everywhere. It was the most humbling experience. And I realized, like, fuck, there's levels to fitness. Like, there are dead set levels. Just because you eat good, train good, and show up does not mean you're fit. Like, it takes, I can't imagine how much time and input and effort it's going to take to get that kind of fucking cardio fucking lung capacity at the least, But it was a mad time. So shout out to the Yard gym at St. Mary's if you guys haven't been there. It's a fantastic gym, and Kat was the girl who ran it, and Pum was the other guy who ran it, and there's a bunch of other people that are involved in it as well. Like, I'm going to have a couple more people in the future on the podcast as well, but I think Bomber from Bomber Sneakers even suggested it to me, and then that's how we got in contact in the first place. So shout out to the Yard gym for humbling me as soon as the year started and letting me vomit all over Queen Street in St. Mary's. Then I just started reaching out more. I'm like, fuck, opportunities like this are good. Like, I get to make content out of it. I get to have fun as well. And I remember I went into Wing Boy over at Darling Square and did a bit of a wing challenge, and they invited me back into the kitchen. I got to go back there and talk shit with some chefs for a while, and then they let me make my own wings back in the kitchen. And I know that was a very little thing. Like, it's not like I got paid for that, or it's not like I got to fucking meet celebrities or anything like that. But for me, even just being able to go back into the kitchen and make the food myself, just because I had a camera there and I just had the conversations, like, it felt like a pretty great motivator. And I was very appreciative of that, what really is only a small gesture and a little experience, but it showed me, fuck, there's powers to this. Like, there's powers to fucking just asking the right questions and showing up and having a good attitude. And it really was a good catapult for the rest of the year. You know, it's not like since then I've been back in every kitchen, but there has been opportunities where I have, and I've been doing food reviews and had great fucking experiences. Like, even fucking, what's that place called at Barangaroo? Woodcut. They even said recently, like, come back, you know, we want you to fucking have a good experience when you come here. And little things like that, they do add up over time, and not everything's a massive win, but that as I said, that was a great example for me at the start of the year to really fucking keep trying to make short form content, because that's where it all started. It all started in January of last year, and I have made one little video every single week since then. And for the most part, I've just been recording my life. I'm not trying to make challenges, and I'm not trying to make skits. And even though I have done these things and it is fun, you know, filming with my brother, filming with my friends. Like, there's a video that I remember Joel and I filmed, shout out to Joel, where we went and gave each other blind tattoos. Like, I wasn't allowed to see what he picked for me, same vice versa. And we both picked each other's tattoos. And it wasn't until after the tattoo was on, we got to see what that was. And fuck, that was a pretty crazy experience, eh? Like, laying there knowing you're getting something permanent on your body, you don't know what the fuck it is. Like, you can't tell how big it is, how long it's going to take, like, what they're drawing. Like, it's a fucking mad fun experience, eh? So if you're ever up for it with a mate, even if you're up for it with me, like, reach out, and I promise you I'll be happy to go get some more of these tattoos. It's a fun experience. Tattoo owners are pretty good. They don't let you get racist shit or gang related shit or offensive to too much of a means. Like, they'll work with you, you know. It's not too fearful. Hopefully, you know, speak to the artist before you do it. But that was awesome. And yeah, the rest of the year that followed was just as much fun. I remember I met a mad lad through this podcast called Alexander Robabaro. And he was inside the world of breath work, healing, and Reiki energy and all that jazz. And he got to educate me on what breath work does for the body, why taking the time to control your breath and get present and get meditative in these in these environments resets your central nervous system and opens your mind to new thoughts that you might not have had before. And he invited me to a breathwork class, a 9D breathwork. That's the one that he does and he runs. And fucking headphones go on your head for this audio guide. Blindfold goes on, and yeah, you get guided through this experience. And if you haven't done breathwork, I would suggest doing it because for me, it was a very powerful experience. A lot of people go through trauma healing, and a lot of people are able to get to the bottom of a lot of the things that they've been holding back and suppressing. And I didn't have that experience personally. For me, it was a very powerful, almost connection to myself in a way. You know, I felt very appreciative for things like my mum and my dad and the people in my life and every girl that's ever entered my life through relationships and crushes and things like that. I understood why and what I needed to learn through those experiences. And I had a fucking great time doing this breath work. Have all the microphones on? Yeah, thank fuck. I usually forget that. So if you haven't done breath work, I would suggest doing it. I've actually got some cool opportunities to do some again, you know, in the start of next year. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to take them. I've got to schedule some things around, but a bunch of lads in content want to get together and do some stuff, which will be cool. And shout out to Alex. I would recommend anyone just hit me up and I'll give you the right directions to find Alex. I might even put his Instagram down in the description below as well if you guys want to click on his page and go hit him up yourself. But yeah, shout out to you, Alex, and I really appreciate it, bro. And if you are watching this by any way, can't wait to get you back into the studio as well and even see you again for another breathwork session because that was really cool. So thank you for that. Did a bunch of other random shit. I just remember going through my timeline. I had another trip to Thailand earlier in the year. That's where I got another sleeve done. Shout out to one of the boys for taking me on that trip. And yeah, fuck, I tell you what, like that wasn't necessarily the most fun week, I'm going to be honest with you. Like it was my second ever time doing a 6.5 day tattoo session. I did once for my back years ago, back, arse, and back of my head. That was a big week. And then this week again this year was a fucking tough week, you know, especially because this time around I did it sober. I was already fucking 2.5 years into being sober at this point. I'm not going to break it just for a bit of pain. And bruv, like, oh, the foot, behind the knee, the thighs, like it just didn't end for fucking 65, 70 hours. Like it didn't end. Mad experience, but getting through a tattoo is so hectic. But I did have a mad couple of days actually before that. Got to do some good things on the beach, and I remember I went on this fucking big parachute thing that like drove me around on this boat. This boat was like cruising. I'm up in the air in this parachute, and this lad like jumps up with me, you know, this guy who works there, a local guy, who's part of the fucking thing that you give money to. He jumped up with me with no parachute. He's just chilling up there, hanging out, smoking a cigarette. Well, I'm fucking so high up in the sky. Mad view, so sick. But I thought, fuck, this guy's crazy. Made me feel a lot safer being in my position, being attached to a harness and shit and a rope and all that. So maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they're not fucking all retarded. Maybe they're like doing it for us and they are actually safe. But yeah, Thailand was awesome. And I haven't been on a trip since then. I do look forward to going to Thailand in April of this coming year again. I'm going to go Bangkok. I haven't been to Bangkok before. Go to the other Bloodlines studio over there because one of my boys actually got a job working over there. I'm not going to say who, just I'll save that for when he says it himself, because he's actually going to come onto the podcast again in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, I'll let him tell the story, but he got himself a job over there. And yeah, I'm going to go see him. And they're doing the Songkran, I think it's called the Songkran Festival over in Thailand. If I'm saying it wrong, forgive me. If anyone knows what it's actually called, let me know. But basically the whole country of Thailand has a water fight. Like it's a public holiday, it's a festival, it's a tourist attraction all at the same time, and everyone has a water fight. Like there's water guns and water bombs and buckets and hoses everywhere. The entire city is just having a fucking water fight. Like I've always wanted to go see it. This time I'm going to go experience it, and I'm fucking so excited for it. I'll get a little bit more tattoos. I haven't really got that much room left in my body. I've got to be real to leave for random holidays and trips mostly. Everything's planned out. But fuck, I'm super G'd up for this trip coming next year. It's just my favourite place in the world to go, eh? Like I've been to not that many places. I've only been to the local places, New Zealand, Fiji, Bali, Malaysia, Singapore, just for like stopping over at Singapore and stuff. And then I've been, Thailand, I've been fucking, I don't even know how many times now. I'm keen to fucking at least do one more. But that was a good start to the year. That was a good torturous week to get through. You know, tattoos to me is the most important thing to spend money on realistically, because I can't think of anything else you can buy that stays there until you die. You know, unless you lose your limbs or you get burnt or fall off a bike or get some kind of injury where you lose your skin. There's nothing else you can really spend money on that you take all the way with you, you know. Houses fall down, cars break down, jewelry gets lost, things get stolen. Like, tattoos are always going to be there. You can't outgrow a tattoo, you know. You might just need to touch it up every now and then if you fucking gain or lose a bunch of weight. So that was really cool. And then all the way up until recently, I've been having mad fun, you know. I went skydiving again, got to make a video about that, because everything that I did this year, I wanted to be able to capture, you know. Social media is a fucking powerful tool, and I understand it can give people crazy lives, and yeah, it has brought me some awesome experiences. But I told myself when I was going for this run, like, I just want to be able, if I'm going to post anything, I just want to post authentically about myself and my life. And I feel like it's been a bit of a push and a motivator to do more interesting, adventurous activities, but at the same time not feel like I'm forcing it and doing anything I don't want to do. Like I can just record bits and pieces of the things that I'm already doing. And yeah, it's a bit of an accountability measure, but it's also feels very authentic and unforced at the same time. And yeah, skydiving again the other day was fucking even better this time than it was the first time. Way less scary, so it was way less memorable, because I feel like the fear of your first time going skydiving is makes the memory so much more prominent. But I got to really enjoy it this time, like enjoy the view, enjoy the experience, and feel a bit more, even if it was only for a brief couple seconds, because you only really fall for like 45, 47 seconds, I think, at 15,000 feet. And I got to really at least have a couple of those seconds that aren't, fuck, what's going on? Like, I'm going to die. At least for a couple of those seconds, I got to think to myself, like, this is living, you know, like, fuck, we are lucky to be able to breathe. Like, thank God of all the giants that came before us that invented things like planes and parachutes. And thank God for these instructors that do this for a job. Like, all I got to do is show up. I've got the maddest job in the world. Be a consumer of fucking enjoyment. Like, fuck, it's sick. Yeah, that was cool. Did a bunch of concerts and festivals and comedy shows this year and stuff. Like, I saw Mark Norman. If anyone who's a fan of Mark Norman or a fan of comedy, must-see comedian. Bucky made me laugh very hard. And I've been going to all the local community ones down at, what do they call it? The Comedy Store down at, fuck, I can't remember what that suburb's called, but the Comedy Store is what this place is called. And they do Fridays, Saturdays. There's like a 7 p.m. show or a 6 p.m. and an 8 p.m. show. There's multiple shows every single week with local comedians and then people that travel around Australia and do their shows. And even sometimes they fly people in. Yeah, fucking mad place. It's like, I swear it's like $50 max to go to this comedy show. And I'm pretty sure that includes like $25 worth of bar vouchers for Red Bulls and or if you drink alcohol and water and snacks. I think you get part of that comes out of the $50 by memory. And yeah, I went to a bunch of festivals. Knockout clearly was the greatest festival this year. If you went to Knockout, you're very lucky. If you haven't, try and go next year, because my thoughts this year was there's only ever really going to be one more Knockout like that. Like, it's just grown so much since it first started. I remember going back when it was in Melbourne years ago. Like, it was still a big event, but it was nothing like it was this year in Sydney. It was enormous. I think there was like, fuck, I don't remember, but I think there was like 70,000 people at Knockout this year. 75 or something around that number. And yeah, that was the best festival I've ever been to. And it was the most sober I felt like I've ever felt, other than the 10 Red Bulls. I think I had 8 Red Bulls. So I was just fucking alive. That was awesome. A couple of mad ones. I was HTID earlier in the year. I went to Massive. I think I did a couple other ones. I know Epic was just on the other day. I had other commitments, so I didn't go to Epic, but I heard that was really, really cool as well. That was a euphoric hardstyle festival. And then concerts. Bruv, I've hit some concerts this year, you know. Like, through the podcast, I've been invited to do all these experiences. A couple more events in my mind. I'll talk about them in a minute. But as I said, the breath work and the gyms and things like this, and I'll talk about the other ones soon. But one of the lads I met through the podcast, Michael Lappin, shout out to you, Michael Lappin. I'm actually hoping to come see you soon. I need to make the time. I understand. Like, I'm not going to make excuses. I just need to make the time for it. If you are watching this episode, bro, you're fucking doing a mad job. He got us invited to the 360 concert, you know, mad experience to fucking have your name on there. Like it was just sick being able to be a part of that. I grew up loving 360. 360 is one of the pioneers in Australian hip hop and culture. And the Curse of Us 360 rap battle, bro, I reckon I could bar it word for word. Like, so yeah, to go to that was really cool. 360 was a mad show, but I went to fucking Drake, I went to Billie Eilish, Jelly Roll, Lewis Capaldi, Central C. I saw 1/4 this year. I'm sure there's concerts that are fleeing my memory, but yeah, it was a mad year for music, mad year for performances. The best concert I've seen all year, hands down. The best thing I did was Billie Eilish. Like, Billie Eilish put on a hell of a show. Like, I'm not even a fan of Billie Eilish's music. I like her. Like, she's pretty cool sometimes. Sometimes her opinions I don't agree with. Like, the recent things she's done, I'm going to try and not talk shit about her opinion on that. But she has a couple really cool songs. I don't know what they're called, but I know the lyrics when they come on. Like, something about birds and feathers and shit. That's a mad one. But yeah, she was the best performer I've ever seen. Like, she knows how to throw a show together. It was very interactive, and to be in a crowd full of Billie Eilish supporters, I didn't know how big this girl was, but fuck, she has diehard fans. Like, she did 5 nights in a row, I think, when she came to Sydney in Kudos. And there was people, I think I went on night 3 or 4 with my sister, took her for her birthday. And there was people that were camping out the front for all the nights. My sister had friends that were even doing it. Like, people were parched up. Tents, mattresses, food, snacks. Like, some of these kids are like 12, I swear, at the oldest, you know. And then, yeah, people are just fucking waiting for the next show. They've got a ticket one night, waiting for the next show. And I think what they do is they wait for the days as soon as the gates open, then the first people in line and then they go straight to the front so they can have the best possible views, you know. But that's not how fucking Kudos Bank Arena works. Like, it's designed for an interactive experience for the entire audience. It's not fucking first in, first serve. Like in a way, sometimes it might be beneficial, but sometimes it actually doesn't work out beneficial. But fucking hell, man, she is popular. I think I looked her up after the show. I think she had like 120 million followers or some shit on Instagram. It blew my mind. But yeah, very mad performance. If she comes back to Australia, which I think she said she was going to when I saw her, get tickets. You fucking hell, bro. That girl is born to be a superstar. Dead set. It's no surprise why she's as big as she is. That was the best show. All the other shows are awesome. Jelly Rolls, a bucket list I've always wanted to see, and fucking hell, that was a second. It wasn't actually a close second. Billie Eilish smoked it, but it was definitely the second best show I've seen this year. And yeah, all the other ones were just mad to experience. You know, I have this thing I tell people, like, I don't listen to music, and it's because really I don't. If I compare it to how much time I spend listening to podcasts, like I listen to so much shit, I consume so much audio when it comes to talking that it doesn't really feel like I listen to music. But seeing it live is just uncomparable, you know. Especially if you know the songs. Like, if you're going to a concert, like, do yourselves a favor for a week leading up to it, play their album on repeat. You know, I'm sure it's a very common thing to do, but when you do become familiar with the songs, like it really does make a mad experience. And that's why Billie Eilish was the best performance as well, because fuck, I don't know how many people fit in there, 40,000, something like that, fit inside Kudos, 45,000, and packed. Like, you couldn't squeeze any more in there. And most of Billie Eilish's fans are girls, you know, and I can imagine they're like teenagers to early 20s for the most part. And they're just singing, bro, like fucking hell, screaming. The atmosphere was intense. Like, I went to the UFC in that same arena back in 2023, I think the UFC was there, back when Bam Bam fought. It was when Israel Adesanya fought Strickland and lost, which was crazy. Mad performance by Strickland. Actually, not really. Shit performance by Israel Adesanya, really. That's why he won, but good on Strickland. Like, that was mad to see. Anyway, that was a great atmosphere, the UFC. It was fucking nothing compared to this event. But yeah, I've been trying to take advantage of it, you know. If things pop up, put my money right there. It doesn't matter if it's best available seats, you know. Sometimes you can find seats for cheap as fuck. I got my Jelly Roll tickets for $19, and then there was a fee which made it $22, I'm pretty sure. I paid $22 for my Jelly Roll tickets, and Jelly Roll has been the person that I wanted to see more than anyone. I've fucking prayed to see Jelly Roll. Yeah, not everything has to be expensive. I've paid some good money on some good tickets. Like, my brother's birthday when Drake was coming, I got the fucking best seats possible for that because that's more of a front row thing. But I got fucking great tickets for cheap as fuck this year. You know, you don't have to spend money on VIPs and all that shit. So I'm gonna do that again next year. I'm gonna there's some mad artists coming. I know Ed Sheeran's coming. I'm a fan of MGK. I know that's a big controversial thing. I think he's a mad artist. I'm gonna go see MGK, and there's a bunch of other people coming next year as well. Even concerts and festivals. You got Rolling Loud coming, which is a mad lineup this year for Rolling Loud. If that works out, typically Rolling Loud doesn't work out, but that's another thing I'm going to go to. Keep going to these events, keep doing these things. But then anything else that popped up, I went and tried it as well. VR experiences. When I was up in Queensland for a couple of weeks this year, comedy shows and VR experiences and shit like that. They had VR experiences over at Sydney Olympic Park for the last month. Fucking been trying those out as well and being immersed inside these realities and worlds. If you just haven't tried the Apple Vision Pro, all right, if you just go down to the Apple store, you can just, for free, completely free, you can go book it in on the spot. I'm sure they'll have times for like the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or you can go there, book it in for half an hour, go get some food, do a shop, come back to the Apple store. They can put you in for a session for the Apple Vision Pros, and they have an iPad, you wear the headset, and they guide you through what it's like to operate this fucking piece of technology. And you can use your fingers to interact and shit with these experiences. Sometimes they put you in the middle of a concert, or sometimes they put you in the passenger seat of a Formula One car, or sometimes you get to do interactive things and build things and create things, and it's free. Get yourself to an Apple store, try this Apple Vision Pro. It it blows my mind every time I've done it. I think I've done it 3 or 4 times now. I want to do it more. I want to keep taking people to these things. They're very expensive. I haven't got $8,000 to just fucking go drop on a pair of Apple Vision Pros that once I own, I probably won't use very often. But that's where the future's going. Like, it'll fuck your mind, It'll blow holes in it. Like, it's the maddest example of how we are living in the future and we just aren't aware of it, because you think having an iPhone is crazy. This thing will eliminate all of that. And as soon as they can take that Apple Vision Pro and bring it down to something way more interactable, like a pair of contact lenses or something like that, it's fucking goodbye to history. Like, we're leaving that fucking shit like it never existed, and it's full steam ahead on technology and AI and artificial reality and fuck, bruh. It's fucking crazy. Try it out. You haven't tried it, so I'm trying to say try it out. But don't go buy it. Don't spend $8,000 on that. Yeah, a couple other things I did this year. This popped into my mind. I met a lad through the podcast called the Tuck Man. Shout out to the Tuck Man. I've seen some of his videos online, and he's an Australian pro wrestler. This young lad from Dubbo. It's mad to get him on the podcast. We actually knew some of the same people from Dubbo. And yeah, he's a pro wrestler like you see on TV from WWE. And I thought, that's fucking mad. Got this bloke on, had a mad yarn, invited me into the world of what it is to be in pro wrestling, and then invited me down to a show. Went down to the show and got to experience that, and like, bruh, it was mad fun. Like, it was really a reminder of why I liked WWE as a kid, and ever since watching that, I've been interested in WWE again. Like, I'm up to date of what's been going on. I'm seeing it all over Instagram. I'm not watching the full matches, but the fact that I didn't go down to Perth and watch John Cena for his last ever tour killed me, because I swear to God, I don't know how I forgot that. I was so keen. I think it was a Royal Rumble down in Perth. So keen to get tickets. Next thing you know, it's happening, and it's the Sunday after it happened. I'm like, bruh, how did I miss it? I'll take advantage of it when it comes to Sydney next, if you can get tickets. The WWE world is getting so big. If you're not interested in WWE, I understand the pushback on that's gay, like it's fake, or why would you watch that? I actually get it. If you are a fan of WWE, you completely get it, because you're inside the world, you know? All it is, to me, pro wrestling, is it's a performance. It's a show, it's a TV series, it's an acting thing that just uses pro wrestling as the subject. The jumping around the mats and the hitting each other, that's the subject of the play. But the cool thing about what wrestling is the story arc stretches out of that moment in the hour to an hour and a half where you're watching it, and it comes into real life. You know, we all know John Cena for John Cena, who we see on podcasts and YouTube, and he does streams of kids now, and he is John Cena, the man who is a pro wrestler and has been for a long time, who is retiring. And I think he had his last wrestle yesterday of all time. I think that's what he did, or today maybe. But yeah, it's like actors that we see in movies. Like, imagine watching the Avengers, but then the Avengers are interactable people in real life. You know, you get to like fucking shake hands with Iron Man and Captain America, and I'm hearing myself. I get how nerdy this sounds, but for me, like, that's fun. Like, that is like a mad way of living, you know? It's like LARPing, you know how people dress up and shit and go fucking Vikings and all that stuff and go to fields and medieval things. Like, imagine if those people didn't just do that for that one moment in time for each other and for the show of what it is. We actually got to interact with these people, and they were constantly in a fucking character of being like a medieval guy, bro. Like, and we get to like talk to him, and he's like, brethren, good to see you. You know, bro, what the fuck? To me, that's so mad. Shout out to the Tuck Man. Very keen to come back and watch another show, bro, because you did a fucking mad performance. I got to see you when you got your belt. Like, that was really cool. Shout out to you. You told me you were going to do it, and you did it. I'm going to come again early in the year. And another thing that's entered my mind through this is I met a lady, Anika Reeves. Anika. I hope I'm saying it right. And she's a breathwork coach and healer. Sound healer. She invited me up. She came into the podcast, showed me her instruments, told me about what sound can do for your mind, body, soul, spirit. And I was very interested. She said, come to me in Newcastle. I'll put on a experience for you and I'll take you through a sound healing journey. And it's exactly what I did. I had fucking oath. Let's go do that. And bro, if you have an opportunity to try sound healing, whether it's free or you go pay for it, like, try it and embrace it, you know? Don't be closed-minded and be like, oh, what the fuck's going on here kind of thing. Like, really feel the experience. Close your eyes, embrace it, deep breaths, and let your mind wander through these things. Because just like breath work, it's just meditation, you know? It's just enhanced thinking. It's stimulated thought. You know, you're not just sitting there closing your eyes waiting to go to sleep. You've fucking got noises, or you've got guidance to put your thoughts in places and then reflect on them. And for me, sound healing was a very, very meditative, refreshing, eye-opening experience of, I almost got to figure out a bit more about myself, just like I did in the breathwork experience. And I can say they were very, very similar. I can't say which one was more prominent or better or anything like that. They were just different, but they were both meditative states of mind, which is a very, very important thing. Very, very important thing to put yourself in that mindset. For me, anyway, like I always reap the benefits of it by opening up when I'm doing it. When I'm sitting there going, what am I doing? Wasting my time. Fucking, am I doing it right? Fucking all these thoughts. If I just let go of all that and I just tell myself, like, I am just doing what I'm doing right now. Like, let's just experience it. I always walk out feeling better. So shout out to Annika. Mad experience. I do want to come see you again soon. I know we've had some plans in the making for a while, and it is fucking difficult, I swear to God, making time and plans. But it'll all work out. It's meant to work out, and I'm very excited to see you again. And yeah, I've had some mad podcasts through this year as well. I've recently got my mouth guards off. I don't know if you guys, how well you can see my teeth, but I've had these mouth guards on all the way back. I had the thought the other day. I remember I sat down and did a podcast with a girl, Michaela Cameron, who lost I think 60 kilos. I started following her at the start of her weight loss journey, and I followed her all the way down until she became on bodybuilding stage performance. And I can't remember if she won. I think she won on. I can't remember. But she wore a bikini and strutted around, muscles, tan, tone. Like, she did this fucking crazy weight loss journey that I felt privileged enough to watch from the start. And then at the end there, I invited her onto the podcast. Anyway, mad episode. But I remember saying to her in that episode, like, excuse me, like, I've got my mouth guards in right now for the first time and I'm struggling to find my tongue. And I remember she's like, oh, bless, that's so okay, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I got them off on Friday for the first time. My teeth have shifted crazy. Now, I remember noticing my teeth for the first time in the start of the year, thinking to myself, like, fuck, they're a bit more crooked than I thought. And I realized, like, I've been hiding my smile for a long time because of this. And I fucking invested in myself, pulled out the fucking money, went to go see my dentist, put me on a plan and straightened them all out. Now I got these bars in my fucking teeth. Not done yet. There's still a couple more sessions at the dentist to get them wider and a couple more little defects I want to fix up with it. But yeah, it's been a mad fun experience. And I promise you, like, I understand not everyone is always in a financial position to be able to do something like that. But if you have the chance to go on a payment plan, or which a lot of dentists do, interest-free, you can do payment plans for things. And like, you do smile bigger than you've ever smiled before fixing your teeth, you know. Like, if you have the chance to do it, do it. But if you haven't got the chance to do it, try and make the chance to do it. Don't tell yourself you can't. Just don't tell yourself it's impossible. Don't tell yourself I'm never going to be able to do it. I did it for a long time, thinking financially it was out of my grasp. But if you can just tell yourself right now is not the best time, but I'm going to look forward to doing it in the future, you will do it, which is a big part of what I want this episode to be about. All right? Telling yourself you're going to do something and then acting towards it and actually achieving it. Because I think I've gone off topic a little bit, but what I did tell myself I wanted to do last year, I feel like I've been accomplishing it, you know. Where I told myself I wanted to live by looking at those buildings, I found myself to be there 9 months later. You know, I sold my home over in Windsor and I became in the apartment that I told myself I wanted to be. I sat and I manifested of what I wanted it to look like, and I planned. And then when the house was going and it was selling and I was going to homes and open homes and all this and that, I fucking looked and eventually I found the place I wanted. And I get it. Not everything works out perfectly, but there's the quote, reach for the stars. If you don't grab them, at least you're on top of the world. I got, if not as close to what I wanted, I can't even tell the difference anymore, you know? And yeah, I swear what I really wanted to do was enjoy 2025. I wanted to experience as much of it as possible, because as I was on my run, I remember thinking to myself, what do I really enjoy? Like, what's one of my favorite feelings? Like, and I remember I was excited to go for that run, you know? I picked out my shoes, I picked out my shorts, I got my bottle of water ready, like, had my phone, I had a little fucking thing for my phone that I went out and bought that day. Like I love that feeling. Like, getting ready is a mad feeling for me for something exciting. So I told myself, like, right, why can't I just do that as much as possible? Why can't I just, like, get ready, get changed, pick an outfit for the day? Like, I have fun color coordinating shit. Like, I fucking love matching palettes and that, and then picking the perfect attire for the occasion. So I thought, why can't I just do this as much as I can? Like, fuck, bro. Like, I find myself in a weekend, if I've only got 2 days, I find myself doing that like 5 to 6 times, if not more. I'll come back home, get changed, pick a new outfit, cold shower, back on, cologne, look in the mirror, bang, out the door, ready for the next thing. And it might be church that I'm excited to go do, but I've gotten ready for it, you know, and I'm looking forward to it. And it might be filming the podcast episode or film my Instagram stories and things like I have fun fucking getting ready to do things, you know. It's exciting for me, and it makes me like, yes. It's the next little accomplishment, the next thing I can tick off the list of the day. And I feel like I've been fucking getting ready, heading out the door and getting my thing done. Even if it's take my dog for a walk, fucking bang, everything's ready to go, out the door, come back home. Yeah, mission accomplished. Quick shower, because I'm turning into a fucking germaphobe. Might as well talk about this. Quick shower, new outfit, bang, out the door, and I'm ready to meet up with this person, catch up that I haven't seen in a while. Anyway, on the subject of being a fucking germaphobe, like, I cannot stop showering. I cannot stop washing my hands, brushing my teeth, changing my clothes. Like, my socks need to get changed every couple of hours. Like, oh my God, it's actually fucking ridiculous. And then it's not just me as well. Like, my shit, like my car, I'm always wiping shit down, my kitchen, my bath. Every day I get a boiling water from the kitchen in my kettle. I boil the kettle. As soon as it's done, I go into my bathroom every day. Sink, shower, toilet, bang, another fucking boiling water. Come back, kitchen, back to the bathroom again. I'm just fucking hot water and everything, eh? The deck, the floor, like anything I can pour boiling water on, I'm doing it. And I'm just wiping shit down, bro. Like, if I get stuck, like, I swear to God, my OCD is getting so insane. If I get home and I see one thing I can wipe, I'm stuck for an hour and a half and I'm not heading. I'm meant to be leaving already, and I'm like, wipe this, wipe that, vacuum this, clean that, put this away, fold this, dust this. Like, it's an actual issue. It's an actual problem. I love being clean. I love being organized, but like, I'm fucking late places and shit. I'm not getting much sleep. I'm staying up. Like, as soon as I get 2 seconds, I'm fucking washing my hands. Like, I don't know if this is going to change. Maybe I need to do something to make sure it doesn't get more extreme, and I feel like it's getting more and more extreme. I'm cleaning out my pockets, bro. I'm folding my pockets inside out, picking up fluff. I might have to do something about it, but yeah, I think it might just be the fact that I just love a clean room and a clean mind and a clean outfit. Like, it makes me feel like less overwhelmed when things around me are how they should be. And I can really see how this is a spiraling thing though. So I might need to pull it back in. And I think it's that addictive personality that I have. Once too many, thousands not enough. I think that once I get into a habit of something, I OD on it, you know, straight out. I fucking OD on it. So yeah, I'll work on that. But I don't even know how I got to the subject of fucking cleaning. Oh yeah, I was talking about how much I've really been doing what I said I wanted to do. And I have to thank God for the fact that I'm able to do the things that I do. Like, everything is an opportunity, but I have to understand the teamwork that comes into play with what that means. Like, I can be given an opportunity every day for the rest of my life. Someone could invite me to the gym. Someone could offer me a position somewhere. Someone could wave at me on the side of the road as I'm walking past. But if I don't take my action, which is my next step, to wave back, to say yes, to actually go to the gym with them, to try the thing, to go out of my comfort zone, like, then the things aren't ever going to get done. And my dreams ain't going anywhere. My hopes and my visions are just staying still. Like, it's a teamwork all the time. God gives the opportunities and we take action on them, and together we're able to make the visions into realities. And I feel like it's a gift. If you're able to imagine, if you're able to have what you feel like is a calling and a passion and an intuition, and if you just want anything more than what you currently have, to me, that's a blessing. You've been given a gift of what can be from God. I think God's sprinkled possibility in front of you, because we don't need that. Like, fuck, we could just be fucking blindly fucking walking around as humans without any fucking drive. We could. But some of us dream. And some of us dream bigger than others. And that's okay as well. But if we're given these opportunities and these gifts to imagine and hope and want, then I think it's our job to make it happen. It is our job, And that's another thing I've been learning more, is I've been trying to build my relationship with faith and understand what God is and dive deeper into that subject, which I've been doing a lot of this year. Where I'm at the moment with my relationship with God, I'm trying to just say grace, to be honest. That's my latest challenge. If I've got food in front of me, before I shove it down my gob, I just have to just have a quick moment, even if it's silent and in my head. I don't have to say it out loud. I feel like that takes courage, saying grace out loud. If you're even by yourself, let alone with other people, it does take a bit of courage, because, you have fear of judgment and all that kind of shit. But even if I can just say to my head, thank you for the fact that I'm able to eat this food, and thank you for who I'm eating it with. Thank you for who I'm able to share this food with. Thank you for who I'm sharing my time with. Like, I appreciate this moment. That's all grace is to me at the moment, really trying to be appreciative, be grateful. It's another reminder to enjoy the moment. And yeah, that's my current position of where I am with it, but I'm always trying to dive deeper into what it means. And I'm looking at the Bible a bit differently than I know most people are who read the Bible and people who identify as Christians. I know I'm looking at it a bit more metaphorically, and I'm using my own intuition and my own calling to guide me. I'm not necessarily letting the book tell me what to do. I'm letting the book be a second piece of advice to what I already feel. If I feel something is right or wrong, that's what guides me. That's my calling. That's my encounter. That's my relationship with God. And then if I need to reflect on the Bible, it usually just touches up what I already believe. It's like detailing in a way. But I know a lot of people don't look at the Bible like that, so I'm not going to try and put myself in any categories. I've made that mistake a few times by offending people, which isn't something I want to do, nor do I make my decisions based on other people. But if I can just avoid upsetting people, I've just got my own journey of spirituality. I want to keep doubling down on it next year. I want to keep doubling down on it, keep going to church, maybe even some Christian conferences, Christian concerts. Fuck, let's give some of that a go. Try out some new churches. I don't put my entire faith in the building that I go to. I think it's a great thing that we have many churches around the country and world where a bunch of people have a similar mindset. Be a better person. How can I be better? And I love being a part of those rooms. A bunch of people trying to think, how can we be better? I think that's a fucking really important room to put yourself in. One thing that I did not expect this year at all, with the life that I live, I've had to come to terms with it a few times, and I have in the past as well, I went down my journey of sobriety 3 years, 2 months ago, let's say over 3 years ago. And one of the first things I thought in that moment was, bruv, it's going to be hard to pick up girls, eh? Like, it is. So I understood what that thought meant, like I might not have as much confidence. So I fucking dove down on confidence. I fucking went out. I just acted like I would any other way. I didn't let insecurity and fear take over. I had to make sure that if I'm going to go out to these events where my mates are getting fucked up or family are having a couple drinks, so I'm not sitting there wishing I felt a certain way. I would just feel a certain way. But then as time went on too, I started to think to myself, like, fuck, it's a bit of a lonely journey, this whole sobriety thing. Like, no one else is doing it. I still get to go to the same places as the people I care about, but fuck, how am I even going to pick up fucking conversations with birds if like, you know, so dating was a bit of a struggle for a long time until I learned how to overcome that. To be honest, for a little bit of time, my dating pool was girls who didn't drink, didn't drug. That's what I was doing. And then as I started to amplify my lifestyle to be a bit more selfish and experiences and adventure, I really came to a conclusion like, bro, like I don't live the lifestyle to be able to have a girlfriend at the moment. Like, seems nice. Like, I know a lot of my mates are in long-term happy relationships and I'm happy for them, but that's just not going to suit the life that I live. And I wrote off the idea, but recently I never ever expected it, but I found an amazing girl and I'm going balls to the wall with her, and I feel an absolute privilege to be able to meet her. And yeah, I thought I'd take a couple seconds through this episode to give her a shout out. We are fucking two insane retards. I've never met anyone who thinks about the world as ridiculous as me and wants to have as much fun as I. And to be honest, you inspire me to be able to want to be sillier and funner and enjoy life more. And I'm very excited for everything that we have moving forward in the future. And I haven't done a hard launch yet on Instagram or nothing like that. I feel like we're taking it to a pretty cool space, but I love this girl. I really do. And she knows I do. And I never expected to be fucking given this spanner in the works of what I didn't think was possible. So just because, and it really taught me this as well, you know, I've got my plans and I know what I can achieve by setting my mind to it, and I know what moods I can put myself in, and I don't know these things because I've experienced it, I've proved it. But I also can be blown away at what life can give me at the same time, especially when I tell myself things can't happen. I don't have the time for this. And then to be absolutely shocked to find out, yeah, you do. You just didn't find the right person yet. So, yeah, that's been really cool. And it's been cool to be able to plan a year moving forward with someone. I've never really done that before, you know, sprint into a following year like a relay this time, you know. I'm not Usain Bolt anymore. I'm fucking doing that 100-meter sprint like, there's a fucking relay behind me and yeah, it's cool. It's changed the whole plan. I got to be honest. I still want to achieve greatness. Still want to do all these cool things, but I want more. I want to do things a bit differently. So, yeah, I think one thing I'm really excited for in the future that we've been talking about is taking a break. It's something that I've never done. You know, who is it? Excuse me, I just had to go up and check that. I don't know why. I thought someone just randomly walked into the apartment, but anyway. Yeah, it is cool to think of the idea of taking a break, you know. Go. That's all I know. But it would be mad just to be able to say pause on everything, you know. I've got a fucking whole life ahead of me to be able to grind and work and content and create and fucking make to-do lists like I do every day. I've got my whole life to do that. I've still got marriage and kids and all these responsibilities coming up that I'm very excited for, this purpose, you know. But while I've got the time, like, we've been talking at least for the idea of, you know, just stopping everything and just traveling, you know, if not seeing the world, seeing Australia, driving around, nothing but us and dogs in the back. Like, that's something I'm very, very looking forward to. So I thought I would share that and use this opportunity to be able to manifest that as well and bring that into action, because it's not just me, but anyone who's come on the podcast before, they speak things into existence. I watch people come on the podcast, tell me what they want to do, what would be awesome, what they dream for, and then I watch those things happen. And I've even done it for myself. And it's been a mad reflective year to be in a position to think to myself, like, fuck, this is where I wanted to be. Another cool thing about what that means as well is once you do achieve the things you wanted to achieve, once you get to those points, once I got into my apartment, once I got the lifestyle, once I got all these things, I really felt the accomplishment for a short period of time until it left. And I realized, like, I need to think about something bigger and greater. So now I've got the next locations in mind. I've got Barangaroo, I've got Surfers Paradise, I've got the next best cars, the next best things, and all these materialistic things as well. Like, they are materialistic. However, they are good milestones to set myself towards as long as I'm enjoying my time along the way, you know? And I realized that they're right. When they tell you it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, it's 100% right, because the destination leaves when you get there. It is always about having a journey, but I think the foundation underneath that needs to be even stronger. The journey might change. You might find yourself not able to go the places you wanted to go. You might get spanners thrown in the works. Like life throws things at you in curveballs every time, but not every time you're able to ignore that curveball and continue on your journey. You might find that curveball was the perfect thing you needed, and now you need to start thinking of something differently. Changing the journey, changing the plan is just as fleeting as getting to the destination. For me, faith is the new foundation. As long as I have my relationship with God and my peace within myself, everything else that comes at me has room to negotiate, room to grow, improve, change, maneuver. God can't be changed in my eyes. I've been on my journey for long enough now. It's been 12 months of solid input towards figuring out what that means, and I've built my proof before my promise in what that is. That's my foundation. And I would suggest to anyone else who has got faith in their life, make that their foundation first as well, because everything else has room to negotiate. That can't. If you already believe, you already believe. You can't unbelieve. You just might get more curious. And as long as you follow your curiosity, you're going to find what you needed to find. So for me, faith is my foundation. It's not the destination. I've got to have it. I've gotten what I have because I've wanted it. So keep wanting more things, but that's not the most important thing anymore. The thing that can't change is faith. So I'll continue to put that first. And bunch of new things, bunch of new things. Where I was last year this time, I was getting ready for my new job. I had one lined up and I was excited for it. I was actually going to TAFE one day a week and I started a new apprenticeship this year that I was doing at TAFE. TAFE fucked me around this year. It's a shame. I was doing great at it, and then they would not allow me to continue on. I fucking bitched about it enough times in the past. I'm not going to bitch about it anymore, but I can go back and restart it again next year. It is an option. Suck up with the fact that I wasted my first half of the year doing that and get over it. But I've also changed companies as well now. I'm not going to be working at the same company I was through this year, next year. I've got a great opportunity to go back to a life that I once knew, and that was do a night shift. Except this time, I'm independent. For the first time, I'm going to be subcontracting. I have worked for myself before. I have ran my own business. I understand what that lifestyle is like. And it's doable. I've done it. It's enjoyable. I've just taken opportunities that have come since that day. Next year, again, I'm going to be paying my own taxes, paying my own insurances, superannuation. Fuck me, there's a lot of things that I really got to do. However, great opportunity for me moving forward. Again, working night shift. And for me, that's the best lifestyle. Like, I love having my daytimes free. I can do anything I want. I can sleep if I want to because everything else is open. Like, for me, going to bed at night makes sense because everything's shut. Like, I'll still stay up late and I'll still try and get up early. Like, I'll sleep as much as I need to, but if I don't fucking have to be at home, I won't. But having the daytimes free is sick because, like, you can really fucking plan your week in complete freedom. There is power to having structure, and there's a power to having a routine. If you can be in bed every night at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and be up at 5, 6, even 4 o'clock, like, you don't need 8 hours sleep for everyone. If you can do that, there is so much power in that. But for me, I find so much power in chaos. I still have to have my commitments. I must train every day. I must stay sober. I must read. I must do a podcast every week. I must do all these things. It's like stick to my diet. And I also have the things that I can't do, obviously. Can't drink, can't drug, can't binge on food, can't sleep in, can't leave the house without making my bed. Like, just as much cans, there is as much can'ts. But the chaos is where I thrive in, like, not knowing when I'm going to bed. Like, when am I going to have time to sleep? Like, when do I want to fucking go to bed? When do I want to wake up? Like, do I want to fucking go for a run tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in the morning? Or do I want to go to the shops at fucking 1 p.m. in the afternoon? Like, sleeping when I want to sleep is fucking mad because if I can work all night, make more money than I would have if I was working in the day anyway, and then pick and choose my life since my schedule, like, bruv. As long as I can try and be healthy through it, I think it suits me the best. Doesn't mean I do it forever, but if I want to set myself up for a future, then this is what I need to do. I've gone down a couple of different roads in the past. This is the first year in 3 years or however long it was where I haven't had a mortgage. I went down the road of owning my home, paying the mortgage, and then fucking it off and paying rent. To me, it was the maddest move. It doesn't mean I'm never going to do it again, but I wasn't in a position in my life to do so, especially living somewhere where I didn't want to live. Maybe a future version of me at fucking 40, 50 years old is going to say, would have been nice if I did that. But I'm definitely not going to regret the time I spent because I've had a fucking blast so far already. However, I do understand I still need to have some safety nets, some investments, some more things on top of what I already do that are going to set me up for a better future. So to earn more money, fuck, I may as well do it. The lifestyle helps, but gotta be honest, I'm a fucking slut for money at the same time. I'll take it. Very excited for this. Very excited for this group of lads I'm going to be working with. The motivation. I've worked with them before. Fucking hectic crew. And yeah, very, very excited for that. And yeah, even guests and podcasts moving forward for 2026. I'm fucking super keen for as well. I've got quite a few booked in, quite a few in the plans, quite a few in the manifestation. But yeah, another year of just growing, interacting, learning from people. And one thing that I've really enjoyed through this year is the posting once a week as a commitment on Instagram. It doesn't have to be a video, as I said, it have to be something fun. I might just have a thought that I want to record and put out there and put that up on Instagram, or I might just have a couple photos from something cool I've done. But staying consistent as a schedule on Instagram and posting, as well as the commitment that I had for a few years with YouTube as well, for me is a very powerful tool that I can use in my own benefit. And I've thought about it very recently, and I'm like, if I'm already doing it, I'm already posting about the life that I am living, and I'm not feeling inauthentic about it, why don't I just do it even more? So just like I wanted more last year, I want more again this year, and I'm going to be posting daily, if not 2-3 times a day. I'm actually going to try a good effort at growing a social media platform to be something that can also be monetary as well. It's cool because Facebook's already at a point where it's profitable a little bit, like my YouTube's already at a point where it's profitable a little bit. I am so far away from being able to retire on it. I'm talking fucking pennies to the dollar when it comes to my content paying me. But there's a possibility I can see it for it being a fucking whole different future. And every time I say it, I want to start doing it. I do improve in my output. But yeah, now I'm fucking putting in mad effort, thinking and planning of how to start new challenges, new series, and more accountability that feels authentic at the same time without feeling like I have to become someone I'm not and play a character or beg for likes, beg for attention. If I can just do what I want to do and put it out there, just like the story of Noah's Ark, build the boat and they will come. If I think gut calling and intuition tells me I need to do this, then I know that other people are going to be drawn towards it, So very, very excited for that when it comes to 2026. Very excited for the lifestyle that's going to come with it. Very excited for the podcast episodes to come in the future. And it really has been the best year of my life. Like, fuck off. I know, I said it before and I'll say it again. I say it every year. But I felt it in 2024. I felt that this year was going to be magical. It has been more than magical. The fucking opportunities that have fallen in front of me have been mad. But then that's because I feel like I've become the type of person to attract those things. I am saying yes. I'm the type of guy who wants to do these things. So if these opportunities are going to come to anyone, I feel lucky enough that they've come to me because I'm fucking wanting them and I'm doing them at the same time. And if they're not coming to me, I'll make them. I'll create them. I'll give myself that opportunity. And yeah, I know it's going to be an even more intense year next year. And if anyone is listening to this still in December, please believe that you can do whatever you want to do. Work out what you want next year, and just, if you can't believe yourself, trust me in the fact, if not me, trust the millions of people who have said it before, that you will achieve whatever you want. Conor McGregor says, if you can see it in here and you have the courage to speak it, it will happen. I think it's a little bit left to that quote. I believe it, but unless you've built the proof before the promise, you're not really going to be able to resonate with it. You might just hear it in one ear, out the other ear, and then later on be like, now I get it. Like, I've actually done the thing too. But if you see it up here, you have the courage to speak it, and then you don't do anything about it, it will stay up here. it will not just come to life because you have the courage to speak it. You have to genuinely go towards it. You don't have to work on something every day. You don't have to work on something every week. It doesn't have to be a fucking mad accomplishment every time you pick up a task. Like if you're doing fitness, you don't have to do one extra push-up every day. In fact, I'm a strong believer in you don't have to do push-ups every day. But if you really want to be able to get better at doing push-ups, do them as much as you physically can have time to do them. If that means once a week, it's once a week. If it means 5 times a day, it's 5 times a day. And you don't have to do 1 today, 2 tomorrow. Do 1 today, 1 today. None the next day, 1 the next day, 1 the next day. And eventually you're going to inevitably get to 2. You're going to get to where you want to get to if you work towards it. Like, it doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. The bigger you dream, the more investment it takes. If you want to be the fucking Elon Musk, you have to be able to put in as much work as him. You're competing with him. But if you just want to improve yourself to be a little bit better, it only takes a micro fraction to be able to do so. 1% of 1%. And you're going to get there. Like, I believe it anyway. You find proof in what you believe in. As soon as you start looking for yellow cars, you think yellow cars are everywhere. Just like as soon as you start believing something to be true, you're going to keep finding proof that that thing is what you're telling yourself to be. The brain does that. The brain looks for reassurance. You know, I've noticed it. If you believe in your head that your fucking husband or wife is cheating on you, you will fucking find more information about it, even if it's not true. The crazy part about it is like you will manifest it to be true eventually. If you start thinking someone's cheating on you, you start looking for it, you start seeing signs. Maybe they're planning a birthday for you and they're being a bit sneaky. You'll start thinking, oh, they're being sneaky because of this, because of that. Before you know it, you're fucking not trusting them. You're not being loving with them. You're not opening up to them. Your relationship isn't what it once was. And they're looking for that love somewhere else. And before you know it, you manifested that person being with someone else. It's a fucking difficult thing to learn to navigate. And I'm not saying life is easy, but it only fucking makes sense in reverse. It's one of my favorite quotes. You don't fucking have to understand it. We live it forward, but it only makes sense in reverse. All my fucking belief systems are only based on my past experiences. And I have no idea what's to come in the future. But I tell you what, I'm fucking excited for it. If you're fucking looking forward to 2026, then fucking start now. Start working out what you want. Start working out where do I want to be? What's the lifestyle I want to be living? How do I want to feel next year? And then just start now. If I want to feel accomplished next year, start feeling accomplished today. Made my bed this morning. Fuck yeah, I'm the type of person that makes my bed. I stuck to a diet, at least for the first half of the day. Fuck yeah, I'm the type of person that sticks to a diet for the first half of the day. Positive reinforcement. And then you're already running into next year being a fucking mad year. You know? If all you want to do for 2026 though is chill, if you're not like me and some other people and you're just like, give me fucking as much of everything as I can handle. If you just want to fucking hang out, if you love playing video games, if you don't love playing video games, if you love sitting down on the couch watching TV, if you just love chilling out, chill out as hard as you fucking can next year. Chill the fuck out in 2026. It's your year to chill. You have the fucking freedom and the right to be able to do it. And it's like, you can chill as fucking mad as you want because it's going to be a good year for whatever it is that you set your intentions towards. I'm looking forward to it. Fucking thank you for everyone for this episode. Like, listen at least this far in the episode. I'm pretty much done yarning. I need to go have a fucking breather, sip of water. I've been fucking spitting for too long now. And if I was given endless time and this was live, believe me, I'd still be spitting 10 hours from now. It's been an amazing year. Still a couple weeks left, couple mad episodes. Everyone that's been a part of the Doxcast journey this year, sat down and been a part of the studio, thank you very much for your time, effort, and entertainment. It's been mad catching up with friends, family members, and people that I've met online, people that have been suggested to me, people that have reached out for whatever way that we've been able to share a conversation. Thank you very much for your time because I've enjoyed every single one of these episodes. For everyone who's listened for every single episode, you're a fucking hero. You're a mad cunt. For anyone who's clicked, been a part of the journey, showed support, sent the messages, like sending messages really does mean a lot. Like I get my closest people, my best mates, my family, like you people reaching out, showing love means the world to me. And then people that I don't know that send those random messages as well, I promise you they mean more than you ever could have imagined, you know. It really does play a big part of someone. If you see someone doing something that you think is cool, like, you just let them know, because fuck, it's one of the best feelings in the world when you receive something like that. And I do not take them for granted. So thank you to anyone that's been a part of the year so far. Thank you for helping grow my channel. Thank you for showing your support. Thank you for showing your love. Thank you for clicking out of curiosity if that's the only reason that you're here. But if you've made it this far, I couldn't thank you enough. Next year is going to be a hectic year. I promise you that. Mad podcast episodes to come. It's been an amazing week this week. There'll be another one next week. That's a wrap.
Shawty catch a vibe, yeah, I had to put her on. Bought a two-seater, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my high, I ain't tripping for the funds. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping.